Well, hello there people from the internet and welcome to more Battlefield 1. Today we're talking about one of the best weapons in the game. Now, along with the Martini, and we all know the Martini is a really good gun, and the Colibri, you just need that. It's just that simple. It's just too good not to have that gun. But when you're talking about running and gunning, you need this weapon. It's just that simple. You need to get your assault to level 10 because basically, long story short, this is the M16A3 of guns. It's just too dirty not to use it. This is the try-hard weapon that you really want. I mean, if you want to get yourself into those close quarter fights, if you want to engage people at medium to long ranges, you have 2-3 guys shooting at you at the same time, you don't need to reload. You can be really competitive when it comes down to weapons, and this gun is the gun for you. So getting the Hellriegel 1915 factory, this SMG has some really good stats. Damage is 23, which is the same as the MP18 Trench. Accuracy is 26, hip fire is 40, control is 38, and the rate of fire is 650, which is 100 more than the MP18 Trench. Now everybody's going around using the MP18, and you also use the Automatico because that's kind of the weapons that you should be using. Now the problem with the Automatico is really good at close quarters, the hip fire is really good, but the problem is that range, there's nothing you can really do with that gun. And range is just really inaccurate and just needs something that's it's got a little bit more oomph than everything else. The MP, sure, it's great, but when it comes down to the best weapon for the assault, I do think that the Hellriegel 1915 factory is the weapon that you really want. Like I said, the Colibri is there just for you to throw a low with it. The Martini is there for you to run and gun with a sniper. You also have the bar, the telescopic. There's some good guns out there, but when it comes down to sheer stopping power, this is it. I mean, it's got 60 bullets in there. You don't need to reload every single time. You can engage a couple of targets at the same time. You have 2-3 guys jumping up on you, or maybe you go around the corner in some of those close quarter fights in Amiens or maybe Suez or something like that. You know, there's always going to be a couple of dudes in the buildings and you want to take them out without having to reload. This is going to be the gun that you really want. Now, a couple of days ago I did show you a way how you can get this really quick. All you have to do is get yourself into a tank. The video's linked in the description if you want to check that video out on the steps so you need to take to get yourself to level 10 really quickly for the assault. Get yourself into a tank, spawn in, install the game on an SSD drive because that basically sort of 90% of the time he always guarantees that you're going to spawn in faster than anybody else, and you can get yourself into a vehicle really quickly. Once you've murdered somebody, if you want to get the assault leveled up or if you want to get the recon or anybody else, go ahead and kill somebody, take his kit and go back into your tank. You can still repair your tank with the 3 on your numpad or whatever it is. So maybe you have it different than me. I have mine on the middle mouse button. You can still repair it, but you still level up your class that you wanted to level up instead of leveling up your tanker. So it's going to be a lot easier if you're getting 30, 40, 50 kills in a tank and you're playing the objective, you captured 5, 6, 7, 10 flags, then chances are you're looking at 20 sort of plus thousand per match. So that's not going to be too bad. Within a couple of matches you're already going to have 1 or 2 ranks done, and if you're close enough you might have it done, but if not you should have it. I mean, it took me basically 2 days, but I didn't really play it that much, but it basically took me 2 days to level up level 10, the assault to level 10, so it didn't take that long. We know that Battlefield 1 is going to have more weapons, going to have more factions. We know that the French are coming in. We know that the Russians are going to be in. And a ton of new weapons are going to come in. But for now, I think this is the weapon that you should be using if you love playing Assault. And I think the Assault is just the jack of all trades. It's one of those classes that you just kind of be going around with. Although there's tons of medics out there, a lot of people seem to be using the medic because they have the ability to heal themselves. They also have some decent weapons. You know, those weapons are really nice. But when it comes down to every single time I faced a medic head on, I always had the jump on him just because I have more bullets, I can strafe a bit more, and I just always have the jump on him. It also has a really good hip fire, so in case you get yourself in one of those situations where you can't really or you don't really want to be bothered with aiming, you can just go ahead and start blasting the shit out of everybody with just hip firing because you do have the 60 bullets in there and you can do quite a bit of damage with it. And as we know, the assault class is basically the class that kind of everybody plays around with. You can take out tanks, you can put out mines, you have the anti-tank rifles, you have all sorts of the ATs, you have all sorts of good stuff that you can sort of face. If you're faced with something on the battlefield, chances are that you're going to be prepared for it when you're playing the assault. Now, as those of you that watched the previous video, I've mentioned I have a copy of Battlefield 1 to give away, which is the Ultimate Edition on PC. Just to make it a little bit sweeter, if you post a comment on this and you're still in with a chance to win the Battlefield 1 copy, but just to make it a little bit sweeter, I'm also giving away a copy of Titanfall 2 for the PC as well. So when it comes down to gaming, I have you covered for this fall with Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 for the PC. And as always, just go ahead and post a comment, let me know some of the things you love in Battlefield 1, some of the things you want to see changed in Battlefield 1. I mean, personally, one of the things I really hate in the game is that once the match is finished, and I'm gonna, okay, who's got the battle pack, and you have to stay there just to see if you've got one, but then I can't leave, I have to wait for the game to load, and then I have to leave if I don't like the map, or I have to go, or whatever, I always have to leave. So I really hope they add a button in there where you can leave whenever you want to leave, you can just leave. I think that's one of my biggest issues so far. Along with the turret on the howitzer tank that won't be able to turn more than 90 degrees. But then again, I do love tanking, and I do have about 3,500 kills in tanks, so I do obviously like stuff in the tank, but maybe that's never going to happen because it's too OP after that. So yeah, that's it for me for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Get yourself to level 10 because you do need this gun, and I will see you in the next one.